Alright, hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today's motovlog is gonna be about let's do it on storytelling. Yeah, storytelling. This is gonna be such a random motovlog, dude. Oh dang, look at that guy on his DRZ. Holy shoot. That guy looks like a motovlogger that I follow. His name's like Cambear Pig, I think. Wow, look at that cool bike too. He's got a dick butt on there for some reason. I don't know if you guys can see that. But alright. Storytelling. So pretty much since the dawn of time, you know, humans have, not the dawn of time, since the dawn of humanity, that's how we've survived, is storytelling. From whether it's inside of a painted cave saying, hey, this is where the animals are, hey, this is the kind of berry you don't want to eat, this one tastes delicious, this furry elephant will kill you. Like, that's kind of the stuff that you know, has kept us alive as, you know, as a species. And it's just so valuable to us, storytelling. It's a way to convey a message, and it's a way to get people to have something in their mind that creates a response from them, whether it's a positive response or a negative response. Hey, that's up to the storyteller. And for the most part, I'm going to be talking about storytelling in terms of a motovlog, because that's what I'm doing right now, in terms of entertainment, which is what this is, and why I enjoy doing it. So storytelling for me is something that I've kind of always really enjoyed, whether it was how do I explain this? I'm not too sure where I'm going either. Oh, this is tight. But when I was a kid, I used to do this thing called Reader's Theater. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but it was in elementary school. It was a kind of a program for, I think I was supposed to make a left on Margarita. Dang it. It was kind of this way of getting kids who were talented with reading, writing, and let me see, reading, writing, and not arithmetic. That's part of a song, isn't it? Reading and writing into another portion of creativity, and that's acting. So pretty much what we would do is we would read and we would act stuff out. We wouldn't be dressed up or anything. It wouldn't be a play essentially, but it would be like spoken word. The importance of it would be, you know, to convey a message using, you know, different people, but focus on the inflections of their voice. So I was doing that when I was a kid, and I don't know if you guys, I don't even know if that even went anywhere, but, you know, I did it, and I really enjoyed it. It was kind of one of the staples of me being a young man and being an educated, you know, person in my school, and, you know, a lot of people really enjoyed what my fellow classmates and I did, and of course we were just kids at the time, but it was still a lot of fun. Oh crap, I'm going 70 miles an hour. It was still a lot of fun, but it taught me the importance of storytelling, as, you know, from a very, very young age. I was maybe about, like, you know, 8 or 9 years old when I was telling stories to people who were the same age and younger than me. And how crazy is that, to be in this position to, oh shit, to share something as special as storytelling with your peers. And man, it was just a really cool thing, and I guess that's kind of why I'm so good at public speaking, is because I've been doing it for so long. And in terms of public speaking, I was really good at it in middle school and high school and college. I was the guy that everybody wanted in their group for, like, group exercises and stuff like that. Not group exercises, group projects and stuff. Just because I was good, and I was comfortable at comfortable at talking to people. And it's such a basic thing, talking to people and telling stories. But, like, it's so difficult to do properly. And, you know, with these motovlogs, you guys have totally seen me fail miserably at telling a story. Sometimes they're so bad I don't even post them, which is, well, it's good for you. It's bad for me because I just wasted time talking to myself. But the biggest thing with storytelling is it needs to be a triangle. You need to have it focus on three things. There has to be a beginning, a middle, and an end. A conflict. I'm trying to split lanes at the same time as I'm doing this. There has to be a character, there has to be a conflict, and there has to be a resolution. So the character is what gets you involved. It's like, character is what gets you involved. Most of these motovlogs, it just happens to be me, or what's great about my motovlogs is it puts you into the character position, where I talk about, you know, if you're having trouble at school or work, you know, you can relate to that. So you put yourself into that story. And the conflict is usually the theme that I'm trying to say. Whether it's lying, cheating, or stealing, or being a better person, or being more creative, whatever it may be, you know, that's kind of the conflict. And typically, this is where a lot of people mess up. They don't give a resolution. So my resolution is usually that short 1 or 2 sentences where I tell you guys what's up. I say, hey, you know, if you struggle with this, this is what you have to do. You have to open your mind and be more creative, or let your creativity guide you, or you need to just, hey, throw caution into the wind and just do it. And that's pretty much the resolution for me. The resolution for us, because it leaves, ooh, look, bonsai for sale. It leaves the resolution up to us. I give you the tools for your own resolution in your mind. And that's what's so great about the way that I tell stories, because there's always going to be a conflict, because I talk about just basic things of you know, of people and why they hurt, and what there is to learn in this life, and how to get yourselves out of situation. And you, the character, and me, the character of these situations, you know, we relate to it. We relate to it because, look at this guy on the R3 bro. Oh, an R6 bro. Oh, R3 lady. Ooh. The problem, you know, you as the character, that's where I was at. You as the character, you put yourself in there. I talk about my own feelings, and that's kind of what gets you guys. That's what gets you guys to like me, because you see that I'm not just a guy riding an XT250. I'm a guy like you. Like, we struggle with the same problems. We go through the same stuff every day, and you know, I struggle with tech problems. Sometimes you guys struggle with tech problems, and like, dude, we just relate to each other. And what good is a story if you're missing one of these 3 parts? Like, if you're missing the character, like, you know, what is that? What is that? I don't know. Even fortune cookies have a character. You're the character. And you know, what happens if you're missing the conflict? Then you just have a happy story, you know? You have, it's still incomplete. And what happens if you don't have the most important part is the resolution. Like, then you just have a cliffhanger. That's it. There's nothing. You just leave the audience guessing, and it's not fun. And really, if you want to tell stories, you need those 3 things. And that's where a lot of people forget. They don't have a character, they don't have a conflict, or they don't have a resolution. Usually they get to, you ever have that feeling when you're telling a joke and you just tell it totally wrong? It's because, one, they're either missing one of the parts, or they tell them in the wrong order. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about, because I said it's a triangle, but it's more like a worm. But I guess it's a triangle because one feeds back into the other, and back and forth and back and forth. But they all feed into each other, and you know, I kind of just blew my own mind right there. But telling the story without, you know, having one of those 3 things, or all 3 of those things. If you have 2 out of the 3, it's not going to work. If you have 1 out of the 3, you have nothing. But you need all 3 of them to have a good story. And like, that's why I like to say I'm okay at telling you guys stories. It's because I hope this is the right road. I think I'm good at telling these stories because I always have this idea. I have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and I have a character, a conflict, and a resolution. And, you know, if you struggle with telling stories, you can do that. You can just listen to those 3 things. You can say, hey, who's my character, what is the conflict, and what's the resolution? The character gives you someone to care about, the conflict gives you the reason why, and the resolution leaves that story in your head. And Like, for example, I'm going to tell you a story about my active storytelling class in college. It was my freshman year. I was completely new to college, and it was my first semester, and I had to take a vibrancy theory class. So that's pretty much like an acting, drawing, painting class or something. I think this is the road that I need. Leon?
Help me, Leon!
For those of you that are Resident Evil 4 fans. But it has to have a beginning, middle, and end. And, okay. Oh, I was talking about college. So, I had to take these theory classes, and mine just happened to be active storytelling. I thought, hey, I'm a good enough storyteller, like, this is going to be an easy A. And I got into the class, and I did a solo group project, or a solo project where it was like, hey, just tell any story. So I told a story about me going to college in, a classic car, and the car that I was driving was a 1974 Datsun 260Z. And I talked about how nervous I was, and I talked about how I'd been working on this car for about, the previous summer for about 3 months of just slaving away with this car and working hard, and then the eventual date of the day before I had to move to college, I packed all my stuff into this 1974 classic car, and I didn't even know if I was going to make it. And I told him, I love this car more than any worldly possession that I have. I had to take it. And I told him about my adventure and how exhilarating it was to travel into the unknown and to start a new chapter with such an amazing adventure. You start an adventure, you end an adventure, you start a new chapter. And they fell in love with it. And the way that my professor broke up the class was, he broke up the people by how good they told their first story. So he paired the good people with the bad people in hopes that, hey, the good people are going to teach the bad people so he wouldn't have to teach them, So the way the class worked out is I got stuck with 3 real stinkers, man. Like, they were dead weights. And I tried to teach them. About inflection. I tried to teach them about beginning, middle, and ends. And I tried to get them to care about the class, but they just didn't care. They're like, hey, C's get degrees. And I'm like, no, C's don't get degrees, dude. Like, I graduated valedictorian from my high school. Like, I needed to carry that on. I wanted that gung-ho attitude of, hey, I'm going to get an A. Hey, this is college. I have to ace all my classes. But they just weren't having it. And every single time I went into that class and we had a group project, we were just the worst group. And they just stopped showing up, and I was doing like a skit made for 4 people, and I was just doing it with me and one other guy. And it was just the worst, man. People saw us struggling, and the professor decided to give me and the other guy a C out of pity, so we wouldn't have to retake the class. But it was just real bad. It was real bad. But anyways, it taught me a lot of big things about college. It taught me that, hey, not everybody works as hard as you do. Not everybody is as open to constructive criticism as you are. And, that really sucked. Let me see where this road goes. It really sucked because after coming with this attitude of, hey, I'm going to make college the best that I can, going in from this high of having this awesome adventure, telling all these people, and having a great time in active storytelling my first week, it sucked. It sucked the sequential 11 weeks that I was in there. And, I eventually got over it, and I'm still a good storyteller, or at least I think I am. And, of course, there are plenty of things that I can learn from, but that class taught me a lot. And, okay, so there's a story right there. So the conflict, or the character, me. When is it, where is it, who is it? That's me. I told you the background. I told you, hey, I was in college. It was my first year, freshman year. What was the conflict? I was in a storytelling class. I thought it was going to be awesome. It sucked a lot of nuts because people were shitty storytellers. 3, what's the resolution? The resolution was kind of a shaky one, which is why the story wasn't very good. I realize that now. The conflict wasn't very good, but it was just me, doing the class with this other guy and me getting a PDC and learning something out of it. And that was pretty much the resolution. But the great thing about that is you can put yourself in that position of being, oh, this is awesome right here, holy cow. You can put yourself into that position of being the guy in the class who thinks things are going to go really well, and all of a sudden you're stuck as a stinker, you know, you're stuck because people suck. And it's a really terrible feeling to feel, but, you know, that's what it is. You, as the listener, relate to that, and that sticks into your mind. And that's the important thing about storytelling, is it's the reason why you keep coming back. It's the reason why Shakespeare was so popular, because his stories stuck with people. His stories were relatable. His stories captivated the mind of those who were listening. And ooh, look at this! For those of you who are wanting to see some more Chains of Zone per proposal, those of you guys who are looking for more dirt roads, looky here, I'm on the dirt. But storytelling is super important in life. It's how you communicate with others at the water cooler when you're just, you know, when you're at work. It's the same reason why, you know, you hang out with people that you hang out with at school, or, you know, outside of school or outside of work, because you like the way that they tell stories. You like the person that they are, and you like stuff about them, and you like how they talk to you. And socialization is so reliant on storytelling and being able to tell a story effectively. Because, oh, that's what I was going to say. Have you ever told a joke and it just kind of flops flat on its face because you forget something and you try to backtrack? That goes back to the order of, oh shoot, that goes back to the order, hit a little bit of sand right there. That goes back to the importance of order. If your order, whoa, tripped you down for some reason, because I'm dumb. If you get the order wrong, it brings the story to a halt. Like, a lot of people won't listen because they no longer track. You're like, oh, you're forgetting a character, or, you know, they're no longer invested in the conflict, or you say the resolution before the characters are fully realized by the audience. And man, look how beautiful it is out here. This is awesome. And that's pretty much like how to be an effective storyteller, is to just remember those three things and remember that order. You have to have a character that the audience relates with. You have to have a conflict that they can relate to, and you have to have a resolution that sticks into their head. And if you have those three things and you keep them in that order, like, you have an effective story. You just have to make sure the theme is good. Like, that's kind of the main reason why you tell a story. Like I said in the beginning, you tell a story so people, you know, won't get mauled by the woolly mammoth. They won't eat that berry that's gonna, you know, make them pass out and die. You know, it's about telling, you know, giving it's about heeding a warning and giving somebody a warning to heed. Or does that make sense? It's about giving somebody a warning and giving them some way to remember it. There, that's a better idea. I'm gonna head the other way. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it, guys. You know, it's really funny because I never thought of myself as a storyteller until like, oh, hey, look, Dual Sport Bros. Let me catch up to him and say what's up. Oh, they're not plated or anything. Should I follow him, maybe? Maybe they live down there. We'll see where they go. But yeah, that's kind of an effective way. That's how I treat storytelling, and that's how I try to be an effective storyteller, is by remembering those three things and then just trying to get you guys to remember it too. And guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Until next time, peace out. I gotta figure out where that goes. That's kind of cool.